With that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
Everybody now has an opportunity to pull up their chair and have.
Over the past year, we've seen Sheryl Swoopes repeatedly go after Caitlin Clark with strange accusations, claiming she's a 25-year-old competing against teenagers, saying her rookie season isn't that impressive, and insisting no one wants to play with her, making the criticism feel nonstop.
Some of your peers, they will recognize, her game, but they won't recognize her impact.
Right.
How can you separate the two? It's kind of hard, right?
And Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummy.
Then Cheryl Miller entered the conversation, and the basketball icon and former Clark coach delivered a powerful response on the All the Smoke podcast, flat out calling Swoopes a big dummy while breaking down and exposing the false stories being spread. As Miller firmly set her straight, and her strong support of Caitlin Clark revealed an unexpected glimpse into the future of the Indiana Fever that has fans fired up and eager to see what's coming next.
Two-time Player of the Year, two-time National Championship, two-time Tournament MVP, first woman to dunk in an organized game, gold medalist. Thank you for making time. Welcome to the show, Sheryl Miller.
Before diving into everything Miller shared, have you ever stopped to ask why one of basketball's legends appears so focused on tearing down the WNBA's most exciting new star? Let's take a closer look at the strange campaign Sheryl Swoopes has carried out against Caitlin Clark, starting from her college years and continuing straight through her rookie season.
Let's also talk about how much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old.
It all began when Swoopes made several wildly incorrect statements about Clark's college career, including one of her most shocking claims that Clark was a 25-year-old competing against 20-year-olds while at Iowa, when in truth Clark was only 22 and simply playing her fourth season like many other college seniors, and when people challenged the claim, Swoopes tried to walk it back by saying she meant it as exaggeration tied to COVID eligibility rules, an explanation that felt flimsy and failed to convince anyone.
Caitlin Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
Carry on.
I know you like that.
Hell yeah.
I said that because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game.
But Swoopes was only getting warmed up, as she next claimed Clark was taking 40 shots a game, trying to frame her as a selfish, high-volume shooter, even though the real number was 22.7 attempts per game. And what made the accusation especially ironic was that Swoopes herself averaged 19.2 shots per game during her senior season, just 3 fewer than Clark, making the criticism feel hypocritical. And as Clark approached the all-time NCAA scoring record, Swoopes changed direction again by questioning the validity of the milestone and implying Clark needed a 5th year to achieve it.
Ask me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
That claim was completely untrue, as Clark broke the record in just 4 seasons, the same time frame as every other college star, while Swoopes ignored the fact that although COVID rules allowed Clark a 5th year, she chose not to take it, and when Clark entered the WNBA, Swoopes confidently predicted she wouldn't excel at the pro level. Yet as Clark started setting rookie assist records and proving herself as one of the league's top playmakers, the criticism suddenly faded because the stats told the real story, with Clark finishing her rookie year averaging 19.2 points and a league-best 8.4 assists per game, quieting the skeptics and earning Rookie of the Year honors.
Didn't say she wouldn't be good. What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did.
Respectfully, there is absolutely no way, even when we're trying to sit here and play semantics about dominating, there's no way that anyone could ever leave this season in saying that both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese didn't dominate. You would have to further explain what dominance means for you to not sit here and say that a player who is leading the league in assists while averaging 19 to 20 points didn't dominate that.
Perhaps the most revealing moment came during Swoopes' appearance on Angel Reese's podcast, where she continued to downplay Clark's success while claiming she held no ill feelings toward her. A clear example of saying one thing publicly while her actions told a very different story.
I've known Cheryl since she was in college. I helped do her shoe deal with Nike in 1993, took her to her first SBs. I've known Cheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her. I called her when Caitlin was still playing at Iowa and she had just broken Maravich's record. And it was all over the place, as you and I have discussed, that, there was this quote by Sheryl that said, Caitlin was, 25 years old. She was, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior. Right. She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records were...
The basketball world began to recognize the pattern, and before long, Swoopes was taken off a Fever broadcast and replaced by Nancy Lieberman, who had no problem directly addressing and correcting the misleading narratives being pushed about the rookie standout.
I got off the treadmill and I called her as a friend, and I said, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion. And, you might like Boston. I might like the Yankees. It's okay to have difference of opinions. Well, she got upset with me on the phone. And I was like, Cheryl, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship, it pretty much is not happening at this point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four. Right. She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Sheryl Swoopes.
The basketball world had been waiting for a respected voice to step into the Caitlin Clark debate, and that moment finally came when Cheryl Miller appeared on the All the Smoke podcast and shut down the critics. Because when a true legend who has actually coached Clark decides she's had enough of the noise, it results in one of the most genuine and powerful defenses women's basketball has seen.
Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was getting.
Miller didn't offer mild support for Clark, as she arrived with intensity and clarity that only someone of her stature could bring, delivering her now viral line aimed at critics like Swoopes when she said, "Come on, you big dummies," a moment that sent the studio into laughter. But she was far from finished, passionately vouching for Clark's work ethic from personal experience, making it clear this wasn't just another media voice speaking up, but Cheryl Miller herself, one of the greatest to ever play the game, directly challenging the hypocrisy surrounding the young star and calling attention to a truth the critics repeatedly overlook.
Look, as much as she was given, you can't tell me if that door would have swung the other way where she didn't live up to the hype.
Right.
Come on, folks are still waiting for her to fall.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yep.
So, with that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
It's the uncomfortable reality Clark's critics refuse to acknowledge, that her arrival has lifted the entire league, expanding attention, opportunity, and revenue, including the very paychecks of the people now speaking against her.
You recently coached the WNBA All-Star game. You spent some time with Caitlin Clark.
Best coaching job ever.
Best coaching job
Best
ever.
coaching job ever.
Being around Caitlin Clark, how was the experience with her? She's such a big star. I mean, the sky's the limit for her. To be around her, just talk about the type of person she is and how much she loves the game.
I'm going to be honest because it needs to be said. I can relate to that young lady, and I felt for her. I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be a Black woman and hated because of my color.
Yeah.
What made Miller's defense so convincing is that it wasn't based on guesswork, but on firsthand knowledge, as she coached Clark during the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game and had a close-up view of her skills beyond the highlight clips, and what she saw ended up surprising even her.
Can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't.
I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't the truth, Miller revealed, a single statement that cut through months of media spin as she went on to dig deeper and share rare firsthand insight into what truly makes Clark special.
Watching her pass, and I didn't know how talented she was and how well she sees the game in a 3D version, thinker. Defensively, a lot better than I thought and gave her credit for. So watching her and just spending a little time. And one thing, guys, that I've learned is to step back and let these kids be themselves.
Behind Miller's detailed breakdown of Clark's on-court abilities was something even more meaningful, a real emotional connection built during the toughest stretches of Clark's journey. And when the Fever finally earned their first win of the 2024 season, Miller didn't simply offer praise. She gave Clark something few others did at that moment: unwavering support when the rookie needed it more than anything.
He was getting hit with everything left and right, and I just said, I hugged her. I said, I'm so proud of you. I go, savor this. Use this as a formula. I said, but keep being you. I said, no matter what, keep being.
That embrace between Miller and Clark after Indiana's first win wasn't a routine exchange between basketball names. It was a powerful moment that showed how alone Clark had felt while facing constant criticism during her arrival in the league, as Miller later described the emotion of it all, saying she gave Clark the biggest hug she could, and when Clark saw her, she reacted with relief, finally feeling supported after being attacked from every direction.
Heavy is a crown that she's wearing right now.
Right.
And it wasn't something that she anointed herself. It's something that's been placed on her head. And I hope people understand that. But it's everything that she's.
In that fragile moment, Miller didn't give hollow encouragement. She shared advice rooted in lived experience, telling Clark how proud she was, urging her to enjoy the moment, learn from it, and above all, stay true to herself no matter what. And those words weren't simple reassurance, but a lifeline for a rookie overwhelmed by pressure, scrutiny, and expectations coming from every direction.
And I gave her the biggest hug that I could. And when she saw me, she's like, oh man, finally somebody I see that's on my side.
Right, they can relate.
The one thing that I said to her, and she was heading into her senior year, was have fun. No matter all the static, just make sure you find that quiet.
When Sheryl Miller speaks, the basketball world pays attention, and that's earned through an incredible legacy that includes 3 Naismith Player of the Year awards, 2 national titles, Olympic gold, and a spot in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Yet her support for Clark goes deeper than accolades, because she recognizes something many critics overlook: the elite court vision that separates Clark from being just a scorer.
To set a screen for Kaylin, Kaylin don't need a screen. Kaylin's got great handles. The one thing that I don't think people really appreciate about that young lady's game, she can pass the ball.
She can't pass. She got great assists.
She
and the bounce pass. The bounce pass is powerful,
which is almost non-existent in the game.
Miller stressed that what many people fail to truly appreciate about Clark's game is her passing ability, pointing out her vision, timing, and especially the strength and accuracy of her bounce pass, a skill that's becoming rare in today's game. And in doing so, she highlighted the trait that elevates Clark from simply outstanding to potentially special, because this wasn't casual praise. It was recognition from someone who understands basketball greatness when she sees it.
What have they done for the women's game from the collegiate level to now? And it's working. And it was only a matter of time. And great narratives, great storylines. But now the bottom line comes down to one thing. It's about basketball. And it's about wins.
What makes Miller's viewpoint so important is her rare position between player development and media storytelling. And during the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, she saw Clark's impact up close, allowing her to tear down months of misleading narratives from the old guard with one simple, honest observation.
What advice, if any, did you share in that meeting with Caitlin? Because I know that she spoke very highly of you, got great respect for you.
I've known Cheryl for a little while now. I think her energy, that's what I love about her. Like, it's just contagious. And
The All-Star Game wasn't only about correcting false stories. It also sparked a connection that could reshape the future of the Indiana Fever. Because when Caitlin Clark nervously reached out to Cheryl Miller for the first time, neither of them knew they were beginning a partnership that may grow into the WNBA's next championship contender.
I've known Cheryl for a little while now. I think her energy, that's what I love about her. Like, it's just contagious. And it's
long before they ever shared the court, Clark had followed Miller from a distance with clear admiration, describing her as one of the true pioneers of the game and an incredible person whose energy naturally stands out. And her words reflected sincere respect for the basketball legend, showing that this wasn't simple courtesy, but genuine appreciation coming from a young star who understood exactly who she was learning from. It was genuine excitement from a young star who understood what it meant to work alongside greatness, and that anticipation only grew as the All-Star coaching announcement drew closer, with Clark admitting how thrilled she was to learn Miller would be coaching them, sharing just how special the opportunity felt to her, though it was their very first conversation that truly revealed the potential direction this partnership could take.
getting to be around those two people that have done so much for the game, for me is super special. Like, there's still two people that I really look up to and idolize and appreciate everything that they've done, and for them to have this moment too and be a part of it, like, it's just super cool.
Even with her confidence on the court, Clark approached Miller like a student meeting her idol, recalling with a laugh how she called her coach, only for Miller to respond that they'd have to see how the game went first, a moment of mutual humility that says a lot about the trust forming between them. And what makes this bond especially exciting for Indiana's future is how clearly Miller already sees championship potential within the Fever, stating without hesitation that the team has an extremely bright future, an evaluation made even more powerful coming from someone with national titles and Olympic gold to her name.
Smokes. What an opportunity. And I was excited, like really, really excited, till I found out that the team I'm coaching wants to beat the brakes off our Olympic team. I'm like, okay, the pressure's on. So now we got a game, folks. We're going to have a game, but it's been fantastic.
What stood out to Miller most wasn't just Clark's individual talent, but the shared fearlessness across the entire Fever roster, as she noted this is not a team opponents want to face because they're steadily improving, playing with growing confidence, and showing absolutely no fear, a mental toughness that championship teams rely on when challenges arise. And what surprised her even more was the level of basketball intelligence within the young Fever group, admitting she hadn't expected their IQ to be that high, explaining that while she knew they were smart players because of the level they compete at, there's a major difference between simply knowing the game and truly understanding it, because that mental depth, the ability to read situations, adapt, and think the game at its highest level is what ultimately separates good teams from truly great ones.
And people that came well before today's game, they were skilled, they were incredible. The spotlight is now enhanced, and give these women credit. They have certainly elevated the game, but there are some truly, truly great players that could play today that played yesterday.
And you know what? And I love the way that you said piggyback, because in no way, shape, or form am I not appreciative of where the game is at and the exposure, because we get exposure. Everybody forgot Lynette Woodard until Caitlin Clark broke her scoring record.
Looking ahead to the 2025 season, something special is forming in Indiana that goes far beyond play diagrams and strategy, as the mutual respect between Caitlin Clark and Cheryl Miller is clearly real and could become the backbone of a championship-level future, with Clark openly recognizing Miller as a pioneer of the game and praising the energy and presence she brings. While Miller has been equally impressed by Clark's talent, especially her court vision, which she describes as seeing the game in 3 dimensions, and this isn't hollow praise but acknowledgement from one of basketball's sharpest minds. So when Miller told Clark she was proud of her, encouraged her to savor the moment, learn from it, and keep being herself, it wasn't just motivation but a symbolic passing of the torch. And while some critics continue pushing the same worn-out narratives, the Clark Miller Connection stands as a powerful example of how generational support should look in basketball, making Indiana's future not just promising, but truly championship caliber. And with mentorship like this in place, the excitement is only growing. So let us know in the comments how fired up you are. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.